So I was surfing on Reddit and then I saw Jetwork131 post this clip, and I couldn't help but ask him, why you no film, bro? And I am not a fan of unsolicited advice, but I asked on Reddit and he seemed open to the advice that I had to offer. So the idea here is I want to promote skate filming. I want to show that it's actually accessible if you have a few key points of reference that you keep in mind. So I decided to make a community service video. It's been a while since my first one, and this one is going to be quick and clean, alright? Let's take a look. So he got this hard flip and he boned it like a madman. And you can see in the original post how I complained that I can't really get the animation for the boned tricks all the time, and it kind of bothers me, but whatever, just need to figure it out and get good. Bottom line is, he did it better than I ever could right now, so he gets the points for trick execution. So a small disclaimer, Jetwork, I'm not here to one-up you. I want to actually guide you step by step through my process, because I firmly believe that this makes filming in session actually much more simple than it looks. So this entire channel is dedicated to one golden rule to film skateboarding, and that is that the camera must emulate the action, alright? Which means that your camera must do visually what the skater is doing physically, alright? If you don't do that, the action is lost on the viewer, but if you do it, and you do it right, then you're immersing the viewer into the action with the skater, right? And that's what makes skate filming what it is today, alright? But I digress. Let's do this together, alright, my man? So, let's head on over into session. I'm already in the replay editor. I did the hard flip as best as I could. Again, he did it better than me, but that's fine. So, we already have the fisheye out. First things first is you gotta decide where you want to put your filmer. Do you want it to have a more 90s style of filming where the filmer's at the bottom of the stairs? Let's just free cam it, see how that would look. Oh, that would look sick. Let's just take a look how it's gonna look from upstairs. Free cam again. Okay, so we clearly see the bone on the hard flip much better here, so I'm gonna film it from up here. So, Jetwork, let me introduce you to my 5 keyframe rule. 1 keyframe for the start of the clip, 1 for the end, 1 for the pop, 1 for the landing, and 1 in the middle of the trick. And we're gonna go about it in that order, and you'll see why at the end when we put in keyframe number 5 there's a bit of a magic trick with the montage view. First of all, go to where you're about to pop and go back about 2 seconds, alright? And cut your clip there, alright? Next, go where you land and also go forward about 2 seconds and cut your clip there. Now, use your right bumper to bring that clip into your full timeline, and here goes with those 5 keyframes. So, go right up against the start of your clip and try to integrate some element of the environment, like I want to have this rail in the shot pretty close. Next, go to the end of your clip and set the framing as you want it at the end of your clip, alright? So I want the horizon to be level with the top of the screen. We'll give the camera some tilt. And I want to integrate this rail into it. So yeah, I want to have the stairs and the rail. Now in these keyframes, you want to frame the obstacle that we're about to skate, or in the end of the clip, the obstacle that we just skated. And you want to show it as much as possible on screen. You want it to take up most of the screen real estate. And that's because you're using a fisheye, alright? The bubble effect puts the viewer right there in the action. Put in a camera keyframe here. Now what's important for these 2 keyframes is the camera is angled downward or the horizon is center. Next 2 keyframes, set the camera back straight with the horizon. Go to where your guy is about to start popping. So not right on the pop, but when the popping animation begins. And turn montage view on, and that sets the camera where it would be given those 2 keyframes you just set. And set in your keyframe with a relatively low angle, so your camera is looking downward with the middle of the screen. Then go right to the landing, right when the skater lands, and set in your framing as you would want it. So I want, again, the horizon to be level with the top of the screen. Now don't follow the skater too far, alright? You're a physical filmer, remember that. You're not walking around, you're not stumbling downstairs. So keep the camera pretty close to your starting point and imagine that you're just stationary in one spot. For a standard fisheye shot, alright? Feel free to take artistic liberties once you figure out the basics first, alright? I want to see the wheels, but I want to get in as close as I can while still seeing the wheels, alright? So I think this is gonna be good. Hey, so I'm editing the video and I just realized I forgot to include something really important. There's a camera work effect that I call the whoosh that is integrated in almost every fisheye shot ever, and it's when your skater goes from one side of the screen to the other, from the beginning of the trick to the end of the trick. So to properly integrate that, the first 2 keyframes in this combo of 5 need to have the skater to one side of the screen, and the last 2 keyframes need to have the skater on the opposite side of the screen. You can see me do it here, and you'll probably see it in pretty much every other skate video that you watch that has a fisheye shot in it. So keep that in mind about where the skater is in the frame during the shot. And by the way, all of these points are explained in much more detail in my ultimate guide to filming with a fisheye that I link in the description, alright? And now here's the magic trick. Turn montage view on and scrub on your timeline around to where the middle of the trick happens. And that sets the camera where it would be given those 2 keyframes you just set. From here, keep montage view on. Just move your camera's angle. Don't move your camera around. Alright, that's important. So, bring your camera to make sure everything is framed properly and set in your keyframe there, about in the middle in between these other 2 keyframes. Alright, this is the only keyframe that has the angle pointing upwards. Alright, and how does this look? Gives me shivers, man. It gives me shivers. So, it looks absolutely massive. Just notice how the camera starts moving a little bit robotically. It moves instantly and then it stops moving instantly. Alright, so to get rid of that, it's very easy. You just scrub down your timeline with montage view on. You don't do anything else except put in a keyframe maybe half a second later. Alright, and you do the same thing for your popping keyframe. Go back half a second and you put in a keyframe there without changing anything. Let's take a look. I think this is going to be a good final result. That's it. That is it. Jetwork. 5 keyframes, alright? These are the 5 keyframes. So this is what the golden rule of skate filming is, alright? The camera emulates the action. The camera must be doing visually what the skater is doing physically. So the skater is rolling up to the environment, we see the environment as well. Skater pops up into the air, camera looks up. Skater catches the trick and starts going down, camera looks down as well, alright? So, the up and down of the skater is shown and felt through the camera work, up and down, alright? And after the skater lands the trick, you want the viewer to have a good view on what just happened, so we're keeping the obstacle we just skated in the shot, alright? And showing this massive double set in all of its glory, right? So that's good. I hope this gets you started nicely on your journey to learning the replay editor, because it's honestly half of the whole experience that this game has to offer, alright? It gives us so much possibility, so much variation, and it just makes every single trick, no matter how basic, it makes it look so good, alright? Give it a shot. Don't be afraid to comment and directly DM me if you want. I'll give you more tips. And as for the rest of you, watch out what you post on Reddit, because I might end up making more of these. Again, it's not gonna be unsolicited, alright? All of this being said, guys, it's really important that you understand my stance on this. Filming is not necessary to play this game. If that's not your cup of tea, it's fine, man. It's a one-player game. Enjoy the product that you bought the way you want to enjoy it, alright? But if you do want help with filming realistically and you want a little bit more info, check out JL Nightmare's replay editor tutorial for all basic functionalities. But after that, I made this other video as well, in which I analyze real-life skate videos and I explain how to use real-life techniques in session using the fisheye. Alright, anyways, that'll be it, peeps. A short video, nice and sweet, community service, done deal. And another note from editing, I forgot to say the outro. So, wishing you patience for your practice, and I'll see you in the next one.